I'll give you another example that's not quite the same, but it's kind of fun to do this in thinking about an auto loan because I did this with my wife's car some years ago. All right. Her car payment was around $400 a month. And again, your interest that you're charged on the car loan is based on the unpaid balance for about 30 days, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so every month it rolls around, then you're going to pay your principal. Money goes to principal and money goes to interest out of your payment. Well, let's just say we don't let them charge us on the unpaid balance for 30 whole days. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take that $400, and not every bank or credit union accepts this, but so you have to find out first. Let's just say that the one that we're talking about does accept this payment method. Instead of $400 a month, pay $100 a week. So if we paid $100 a week, now week one, they can only charge me 1 week's worth of interest on the unpaid balance, correct?
Correct.
Once I give them a payment, then I don't owe as much. So some of that money goes to principal, some goes to interest, but I'm bringing the principal down throughout the month. I do it again next week. I do it again the next week. And then the last week I do it is on the same week that the payment is due. So I've brought the principal balance down throughout the month. It makes it impossible for them to charge you a whole month's worth of interest on the unpaid balance because I'm bringing the balance down throughout the month. So my regular payment now pays the loan off faster because more of my regular payment goes to principal, less goes to interest. Does that make sense?
It does. Now, Mr. Dunn, if I were to pay one car payment in advance, so I'm always one car payment ahead, do I get the same result with that as I would if I paid $100 weekly using your example?
It would save you time and it would save you interest. It wouldn't save you the exact same amount of time and the exact same amount of interest, but it would be a savings. Yes.
So you're saying that it cancels the interest better by paying it weekly versus just paying one lump sum additional payment?
Well, here's what we're talking about. If I get you what you're saying, and is there absolutely nothing wrong with your system, but if I understand what I'm saying, my payment is $400 for the month. Now you want me to pay the $400 and an additional $400, which would make it $800, correct?
Yes, for 1 month. I just wanted
Right.
to know, does that carry over month after month from that point on? Would it have just paid the interest or one payment, and then I would be back on the same track the next month? Or would my next month payment be an early payment, or how does that work?
All right, folks. So here's what happens. Whenever you get ahead on your car payment, all right, you're going to get a notice the next month that you do not owe the whole amount that you did before. Your minimum payment has either been reduced, or in the case of what you're talking about, giving an extra $400, you don't have a payment next month at all at most banking institutions that have car payments. Okay. So if you give them the extra $400, then they're saying, please, you don't owe us a payment this month. Pay us the month after. Now, don't fall for it though, because the interest that you just saved, the bank is trying to recoup by you not paying the next month. Because even though you don't owe a payment, the interest accrual continues and they're trying to get that
Wow.
interest back. So don't fall for it. If you paid extra, at least make the minimum payment the next month, even though they're saying it's not due, so you don't give back the interest you just saved. Mr. Nathan, does that answer your question?
Yes. And if I have time, can I ask one more
Go
question?
right ahead, sir.
So if they send me a letter saying I do not owe a payment this month,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Because I doubled the payment last month,
Yes.
and I go ahead and pay my whole normal payment anyhow,
Mhm.
would that one go directly to principal since I technically did not owe a bill? Or would that go to principal and interest?
It will go to principal and interest because even though you don't owe right now. You're still going to go to principal and interest. But because of the way that it is now, more money would go to principal than normal. Okay, if you just follow the regular amortization schedule. But please, here's the other thing you want to do. Don't call your bank or credit union and ask them to explain how it all works. Don't do it. It's just going to cause you frustration because they won't be able to explain it to you why it works that way.
Dunn, you are the man. Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to enjoy and listen and learn. And I just appreciate all that you're doing. I'm waiting for all of this information that you're getting ready to deposit in us. Thank you so much.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.